Remember the days before iPhones and Galaxies? There was a time when almost everyone had a phone, and if it wasn't a Nokia, you were probably just waiting to get one. Nokia didn't just lead the mobile phone market, it pretty much created it. That iconic blue logo meant your phone was durable, reliable, and had a cool design. Think about the legendary Nokia 3310. That thing was practically indestructible. You could drop it, step on it, and it would just keep going. The battery lasted for a week, and it had the iconic game Snake pre-installed. We all spent hours trying to beat our high scores on that tiny screen. Then came other legends that pushed mobile tech forward. The 3210 introduced T9 predictive text, which made texting so much faster. The 6310 was the ultimate business phone, sleek and professional. And who could forget the N95? With its dual sliding design and groundbreaking camera, it was a glimpse into the future of mobile photography and multimedia. Each of these phones represented a new era. But in 2007, everything changed. Apple launched the first iPhone. And suddenly, we had full touchscreens, real web browsing, and an app store that offered endless possibilities. Google quickly followed with Android, creating an open ecosystem that developers loved. While the smartphone revolution was taking off, Nokia stuck with its old operating system, Symbian. It was a reliable system for its time, but it just couldn't keep up with the new app-centric world of iOS and Android. In 2011, Nokia made a big switch to Windows Phone. They launched the Lumia line, which had beautiful hardware and a unique design. The phones were colorful and felt great in your hand, but the ecosystem was the problem. The Windows Phone store lacked the essential apps that everyone was using on iPhone and Android. It was a classic case of too little, too late. By 2014, the giant had fallen. Nokia sold its phone division to Microsoft, marking the end of an era. A company that once held over 40% of the entire mobile phone market had faded away. It was a tough pill to swallow for anyone who grew up with a Nokia in their pocket. But the story doesn't end there. A few years later, the Nokia brand made a surprising comeback. A Finnish company called HMD Global, run by former Nokia employees, acquired the license to make Nokia phones again. They brought back the soul of the brand. Simple, durable, and reliable phones, now running on Android. They even released modern versions of classics like the 3310 and the Banana phone, the 8110, tapping into our sense of nostalgia. Now, here we are. HMD's license to use the Nokia name is set to end in 2026. But before they say their final goodbye, Nokia is planning one last farewell lineup. They're bringing back refreshed versions of beloved classics like the 3210 and 8310. These phones aren't meant to compete with the latest flagships. They're for people who crave simplicity and a touch of nostalgia. Meanwhile, HMD is already moving forward with its own brand. They're launching new models like the Fusion X1, a phone designed for teens with strong parental controls, a solid Snapdragon processor, and a big battery. So, yes, Nokia is back one last time. Not as a market-dominating titan, but as a fond memory. It's a tribute to a simpler time when our phones were tougher and maybe a bit more personal. This final chapter isn't really about the technology anymore, it's about what Nokia represents. A reminder of who we were when that iconic ringtone echoed from our pockets. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more stories about the tech that shaped our world. See you in the next one.